It's that thing called life. We appreciate you being here with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here inside of these Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal located for you on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, New York. You can also find them by going to the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road to Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse, and their drive-through location. And you can go to 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. So make sure you head out to Cafe Kubal today. Fill your cup up right. And on a day where you need to warm up, like today, make sure you head out there and support local. With that being said, we're happy to be with you worldwide here, Central and Upstate New York, East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, and around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and of course on WakeUpCallDT.com. Podbean.com. Happy to be here with you on our live internet streaming radio opportunity as well. So however you're connecting with the show, we appreciate you being here, and we have an awesome show for you today with teams that have won state championships, vying for state championships, as well as a really cool connection to the community. So inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', starting the show off with Frank Colabufo, the head coach of the West Genesee boys ice hockey team, who just hoisted the 2023 New York State title. We'll be talking with him momentarily after having him at the Wildcat Sports Pub with his team, who set out to do this, said they were going to do this, sat on the couch with me about doing exactly what they did, and then turned around and took those words, turned them into actions, and brought a state title back to West Genesee. And then we'll have Odyssey Jones on the show around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Odyssey Jones played offensive line for Syracuse. His name is Omari Palmer. In WWE NXT, he is Odyssey Jones. And he'll be joining us to talk with us about his career. And then Mike Wheeler and Ryan Blackwell join the show in hour number 2. Mike Wheeler looking for his state championship in his first season with the Liverpool Warriors girls basketball varsity team. Him and the team will be heading out to the Final Four for states. Ryan Blackwell for Liverpool boys basketball will be heading to states as well, the Final Four, and we'll round out the show with the ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli. So with all of that being said, Frank Colabufo, you should know the name. I'm sure you do know the name. Between Frank, his children, and all of the fantastic teams he has had, if you walk inside of the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue, there are more than enough things on the wall. I think there's basically a West Genesee boys ice hockey wallpaper because of the championships that they've won and the things that they've done. So with that being said, I proudly welcome in a friend, Frank Colabufo. Frank, how are we doing today?
Doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And Frank, I mean, I said it and I mean it wholeheartedly. You know, you have a lot of wonderful banners and pictures and whatnot at the Wildcat. Are you planning on just kind of taking maybe a corner of the Wildcat now with this new banner and to have just a West Genesee boys ice hockey section?
No, no. But I have to say, it's when you win in Camillus, like it's bigger than you. It's bigger than the team. It's something that the community really cherishes and shares in with you. I mean, it's pretty special.
Yeah, and Frank, I know that, you're a humble person and you give a lot of credit in other places, but this run has to be uniquely special to you, and I'd love to, from your eyes, from the beginning of the season to a police escort back to West Genny after being state champions, bring me through what that looked like through your eyes.
Well, I mean, I think quite honestly it started when we left Buffalo last year, losing to Suffern in the state championship game. I think there was a resolve walking out of that locker room on the part of the kids that were returning, not just to make it back there, but to try to finish the job, not just for themselves, but for the seniors that didn't have the opportunity to raise the banner a year ago.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it starts last season in the title game last year. To go through that and to have, this team endure such a thing, I mean, how did you see them respond almost immediately, be it in a practice, be it in a team meeting? how did you see this team really show you and say, you know what, coach, we know exactly what we need to do, and we're going to get ourselves back there? Like, hey, how quickly did you see that focus?
Well, I think, we start training camp September 27th, and the one thing that we try to drive home is that you don't get to start where you finish.
Yeah.
Right. So like you have to start over. It's a new group, new leadership. But the torch has been passed, you know what I mean? And the culture is the same. And so there's a blueprint, and you got to buy in, and you got to do the work. And it happens every day. And there's no days off, and there's just a resolve. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to play your best every day, and there's going to be adversity along the way, and there's going to be bumps in the road and injuries and illness and all those kinds of things. Like every team has to find their way through. And but having the experience of getting all the way down the road the year before, there was a confidence that kept growing. With each day and with each challenge and with each game. So you really started to see it. And then, we ended up going to Baldwinsville late in the year and losing 5-4 and losing the 1 seed in that moment. And then all of a sudden we became an underdog. And that may have been the best thing that happened to us looking back, because that's where they really dug in. And that's where you saw their championship characters start to come out. And we didn't lose another game after that. So I think that, that was where it happened.
Yeah, and like you said, losing that game and losing the 1 seed might have been the best thing for you. When those moments happen and they occur, I've talked to coaches of all different sports about this. Is there ever a good time within a regular season to lose a game because of what it taught, because of what it does? You never want to lose anything. But when you do, like you go back to that game, you've been a coach for so many years at West Genny. Did you feel in that moment, even before you saw what the team did after, did you kind of get a sense for, hey, this could be our moment that we can take this bad thing and make it into something special?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't play well and you win, and other times you play really well, but you play a better team, and whatever, you don't get puck luck or whatever happens and you lose. So like the winning or the losing, that's kind of an outcome, right? So, and a lot of that is beyond your control. But what is in your control is how you play the game and how you approach the game. And I think what we learned as a group is that if we don't execute the game plan, if we get away from what works, if we get away from our formula, then we're vulnerable. And I think that was what we learned. I think that's where it happened. It was like, okay, we have to be true to ourselves. We have to be who we are. We can't get bored with how we play the game. And we have to just buy in now completely. And that was the teachable moment there. And I think you saw from that moment on, we just continued to grow and get better. And yeah, like what they did this weekend in Buffalo was amazing. It was I was so proud of the way the kids approached the weekend and the way they executed against very, very good opponents.
And coming here from Frank Colabufo, the West Genesee Wildcats boys ice hockey head coach, and celebrating a New York State title here. And you and I were talking off the air about it, that when you came home and you had that police escort and you were greeted by the community, and you made mention of it too, when you win in Camillus, it's different. It's not just winning at the high school. I'd love for you to bring me into coming home in that police escort, seeing the support, and then heading over and seeing everybody on the ice. I mean, there's and I've talked about it for 7 years now. There's an element to the West Genesee community that is unique. It is special. It is deep. And I know that you and I were talking about it, and I'd love for you to share that.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Camillus myself. I played here. Went to school here, and have had the privilege of coming back and coaching this team now for the last 29 years. And it's humbling. It truly is. Like, we're on our school bus in Buffalo, and we're leaving, and then immediately, first of all, the text messages that you get from everybody throughout the years. I mean, this touches like the little kids, the youth kids, that come to all our games and pump fists with the players as they come down the runway. But then I'm getting text messages from my goalie from the 2001 state championship team, who's now, an adult with his own family, and the memories that come flooding back. And all the kids that have played, from way back then until now, and and like I said, the young kids, the aspiring kids that want to be here someday, So you're getting all of that, and then you're getting the text messages about, hey, you're going to meet the police at exit 39, and then you're getting text messages from the fire department because they want to know an estimated time of arrival so that the fire trucks can be there with the arches set up, and then the school principal texting you because is it okay to put out on social media, to the community so that they can meet the team when they get off the bus. And it was just surreal, like, to be a part of it. And then you get to 39 and you see the police and the sirens and the lights, and then you get to West Genesee Street in Camillus, and all of a sudden all the side streets are blocked, and like people are slowing down and cars are honking their horns, and you're like, and the kids are on the bus taking us all in, it's, you're trying to process what you just did and what it means, but not just so much to you, but like to this community, this town, like the village, like everything that, the connectedness that everyone seems to feel and share in the investment in the program, and the pride in the community. And then you get off the bus. I mean, the bus had literally, the street was jammed, both sides of the street, and all the cameras are out, and then you get to the rink, and everyone's there, and then obviously the seniors step off the bus first with a plaque, and just pictures with the youth kids and moms and dads and grandparents and the whole thing. And then the police are there and the firemen are there, and thank you to all of those people that helped make this moment possible for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to put into words. It's just like what you're feeling in those moments. Like, but you clearly get a sense that what you did is way bigger than a game.
Yeah, and it is. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it. That the community, like you said, the way that they come out, the way they support, the way that they love and appreciate. Do you allow yourself, Frank? I mean, in the moment, I'm hearing you talk about it, and it's creating emotion in me in the studio this morning, because I've gotten to know you over the years, because I've gotten to know the community, because I've seen just how special these moments can be. So from my perspective, I get emotional because you get invested in the players, you get invested in the coaches, you get invested in the teams. Did you allow yourself to have a moment where you just you felt that you felt that emotion and kind of let it run over you, or did you wait until you got home for that?
No, I mean, you can't help but feel it, like there's so many emotions. I mean, even as the clock is ticking down and you're standing on the bench, and you're looking across at the huge West Jenny student section, and then like my wife and my children in the stands, and my dad filming for, he's been filming these games since the '01 state championship, and like you can't help but first of all, it's humbling, and then just the wave of emotion that you feel. Like, I looked at my assistant coaches and was like we just won the state championship, and like, it. I mean, it was 6-0. You knew it was going to happen, but yeah, when it does, it's just like, until you can experience that, like, I don't. It's powerful.
And like you said, that moment, that powerful and special and incredible moment. I mean, we look at the fact that not only did you win this state title, but we go back to these games and root to it. Ithaca, Pittsford, Suffern. You didn't allow a goal. So I mean, to reflect on that, to reflect on the defense of this team, to reflect on your goalie and just what that side of it means, because we talk about, you score goals, you got to get out there and do something, but at the same time you have to prevent. Your team not only won a championship, you outscored those three opponents in the run to the state title 12-0. I'd love to reflect on that.
Yeah, I mean, this team put up staggering offensive numbers. I mean, at the end of the day, this team scored 156 goals, and everyone talked about how offensive this team was, and certainly they were. If you score that many goals, you are very offensive. I mean, Will Schneid ended up with 40 goals and 77 points. So we definitely had that, but that's not really who we've ever been as a program. And that's just not been our identity. Like, our identity has been defense first, blue collar, block shots, be hard to play against. And if you go back to that regular season game against Baldwinsville where we lost 5-4, and like, that was the conversation. Like, okay, we scored 4 goals, but we lost. Like, that's not who we are. We're not a team that gives up 5 goals. So, like, we have to address that. And that's when I say, like, I think that's where we had gotten away from our identity a little bit, and we realized that, like, we're not going to go out and outskill teams, and we're not going to get in track meets and expect to win. That's not who we are. That's not how we're built. And we've never been that way. So, like, let's just go back and kind of be true to ourselves, accept who we are, and play our game. And that's what I mean. That's the maturity. That's the experience. That's the leadership. 10 seniors in the room, and Will Schneid, who's not coming back. You know what I mean? Like, that was a decision. It was a conscious choice they made to say, hey, you know what? We got away from who we were. We maybe got a little bored with the way we were playing, and we got to go back to that. And from that game on, it was amazing. It was, and in the playoffs, Syracuse was in the semifinal was 4-0, 2-1 against Beeville in the section final, and then Ithaca, Pittsford suffered 3 shutouts in a row to close it out. Like, you could see that we got back to being hard to play against, be above pucks, block shots, play a simple game, and they were rewarded for it. So, and you know what? At the same time, they were scoring goals. It's not like we stopped trying to score goals. We scored 6 goals in the final, so it was still a fun way to play.
And before I let you go here, Frank Colabufo, West Genesee Wildcats boys ice hockey head coach here on the show. We were talking about that loss to Baldwinsville and what it did for your team. You played Suffern earlier on in the season as well on December 29th of 2022 and lost 2-1. How important and how vital was seeing Suffern at that point in the season and to go up against them and face them and see who they were and see who you were against them? How great of a teachable moment and how important of a piece was that when you got to see them again in the state title?
Yeah, Suffern's a team that they come to our tournament every year. We've got a good relationship with Suffern, but at the same time, it's been a very good rivalry. We've played them an awful lot in the state tournament, either in regionals or semifinals, or state championship games. So they're no stranger to us. Like, they know us, we know them.
Yeah.
Obviously, they beat us in the state championship last year, and then having them back in our tournament this year, and they beat us again. So, but seeing them and seeing that, it was only 2-1, and we outshot them in Shove Park, in December. So it was like, this is a winnable game. We've definitely closed the gap. They still have some pieces there that we have to find a way to overcome, like your goaltender. But it was a game that we could go into with the confidence that, hey, this is doable. Like, we've closed the gap on them, and now we just got to continue to be true to ourselves, and in that way, the familiarity probably helped us a little bit.
You mentioned Shove Park, and again, we were talking off the air about, the celebration, the fans, the connection. Shove, I mean, to you, when you've had so many memories, so many years, so many moments there, Frank, when you think of Shove, when I say Shove Park, you think blank. Fill in that blank for me, because you have such a deeply rooted relationship with that arena. So when I say Shove, you say what?
I say home. It's really it's the home of West Genesee hockey. It's there's a security there. There's a pride there. Um, you know, it's the place the kids don't ever want to leave. You know what I mean? Like getting the kids out of the locker room, that might have been the hardest thing we had to do all weekend. You know what I mean? They just don't want to leave there. Like it's our home.
So the question is, 29 years, what does year 30 look like, Frank?
Well, like I said, you don't get to start where you finish, so we're going to go right back to work at the end of September and start building it all over again.
Frank Colabufo, and I can't honestly, Frank, I can't thank you enough for allowing me to tell the story, and trusting me around the student athletes and giving me an opportunity to speak with them and to speak with you, not just with a state title, but with everything that you all have done. It's truly an honor, and it's a privilege to know a coach like you, and to be in a community that has coaches like yourself that not only build success, but they sustain it, and they stay in the community, and they continue to build up the community. So I know, again, when I've given you accolades before, you kind of just nod and say thank you, but beyond championships, you've been very good to me, and you've always opened the door to your team, and I want to thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. I appreciate you telling the story and covering local sports.
And coming from Frank Colabufo, champion here in 2023 with him and his team. Go celebrate, Frank. Do something nice for yourself. Go somewhere where there's not snow for a couple days with your family, okay? Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Take care.
Bye.
That coming from Frank Colabufo one more time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Listen, I love the snow, but I was just down in Greensboro, and there's no snow down in Greensboro. Well, there was. I can't say there's no snow down in Greensboro ever, because there was snow down in Greensboro the day I left, which was, telling me head back home, I guess. So with that being said, I want to thank Frank Colabufo for being a part of the show. West Genesee Wildcats boys ice hockey head coach, who's done a tremendous job. And, I mean, can you say enough about what Frank's done in 29 years? I don't think we can. I don't think there's enough time, if I did shows for the next 3 months, to talk about what's been done at West Genesee. All the players, all the student athletes, everybody that's been on staff, everybody that's helped, all the volunteers, to those of you at Shove Park that are, standing there at the front door and helping out, to all the parents and the guardians and the grandparents and the aunts and the uncles and, the community in general. You have been tremendous, and what a story to tell again. And again, I mean, when I get to live these moments sitting on the couch at the Wildcat Sports Pub, where we spend every month with West Genesee, when I get to sit there on the couch and I get to talk to teams like Frank's team, and they tell you what they want to do and what they plan to do and what they believe they're going to do, and then weeks later you see it all come to fruition, you go back to that moment and you say, wow, these kids had that vision, that mission, that belief, that desire, that want to, that faith, and then they did it. And it's so special to reflect on those moments where you get to sit with them when they're telling you what they're hoping, and then they go and achieve it. A dream realized is the best dream. We'll take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. When we come back of the WWE NXT, Odyssey Jones joins us to speak on his wrestling career and so much more right after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcats Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you hanging out with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on Wake Up Call inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Can't thank you enough for being a part of the show and spending some time with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook.com, YouTube.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. Now on Podbean Live. We've been with Podbean since 2012. We're live with them now Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So however you're connected with the show, we appreciate you being here, hanging out with us where sports meets life. It is my honor and my privilege inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios to head to the next portion of Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory's What's Poppin', as we have Odyssey Jones here with me. We have done things sitting next to each other down in Florida. We've done things on the show, and I have the opportunity to bring back Syracuse Orange football alum Amari Palmer, who you now know as Odyssey Jones of WWE NXT, quote, your future favorite, here with us this morning. Odyssey, how we doing?
What up, Dan? Hey, I got to admit, Dan, that was amazing. That whole, how you did that whole line and everything flowed perfect. That was great. Great job. That's tough to do right there.
Well, you know, man, I appreciate it. You know, I feel like I've learned. I know my Odyssey Jones, WWE NXT, your future favorite. I know where things stand, and I appreciate you. I'm happy for you. And, you know, I know that you and I were talking a few months back about the people that believed in you from the beginning with this wrestling career and what you wanted, one of them being Seamus Shanley. You came up for his wedding, and then you went back down to Florida, and you and I went live from Hooters I Drive in Orlando right after that. Now he's having a baby. What are your thoughts on Mr. Shanley being a dad?
First, congrats to him and his missus. And second, I'm shocked it took so long. I thought it was going to be like instantly. I didn't think he'd give it so much time after the wedding. I thought it would be so much faster, which says a lot because he really didn't give it any time after the wedding.
Yeah, so that coming from Odyssey Jones here. Big shout out to Seamus Shanley and the Shanley family. So tell me what's going on, Odyssey. How you been? How you doing? You and I were talking when you were rehabbing back a while back during football season and whatnot. So bring us into what's going on in your career of wrestling, where you're at, and how things are going.
Things are going well. I'm still kind of getting my footing and everything back in here, having matches and kind of getting to the swing of things, which is nice and feels good. I know it's that time of year where we're kind of picking up and ramping things up going into WrestleMania, so everyone kind of does a little bit more and is a little bit busier these next, month or so, in the month of March to April. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be wrestling. It's a good time to be a part of wrestling, and I'm just happy to be back and able to do stuff.
And bring me into the get back. When you step back into the ring, when you had the opportunity to find your way back, and you took that opportunity and you worked for that opportunity, I'd love for you to paint the picture of the get back.
Yeah, of course. It's really just patience and consistency. I guess just like anything else, difficult and good in life. It takes time. I can't really rush anything because, you rush an injury, now you have another injury, or you hurt yourself or something like that. So just patience and a lot of consistency. Like I said, doing my routine daily, doing my movements, my stretches, my cardio and things daily to kind of maintain upkeep and the work on my body and have my body, flowing how I need it to flow.
Yeah, and it was, 3 days ago that we're looking up here, and you went up against Von Wagner. Bring me into this fight and just what your takeaways are from this. I'm sitting here watching it in the studio this morning.
Appreciate you checking out.
Yeah.
Von Wagner's a tough dude. He's a tough dude, tough competitor, big, strong man. But he had what it takes to hang with Odyssey Jones that day. So I'll take the win. I took advantage of whatever he had going on, his distractions, and I'll take the win and keep it pushing. Hopefully build a little momentum to another win today or this week when I get back at it and get back in the ring.
And, being back in the ring and having, this moment to continue to do what you love, like you said, we talked about the get back. When you step back in the ring and you got to look around, what was the first thought on your mind or the first feeling that you had when you walked back out and got into the ring again? Just what that moment meant to you and what was on your mind when that happened?
I was just saying, thank God, honestly. It was a sigh of relief just because it was such a long process, and throughout parts of it, I kind of doubted myself. I didn't know if I would be back or feel how I felt prior. So I just said, thank God, took it step by step, day by day, went out with the moment and just kind of gave my all, and things are seeming to work out as of now. So I'm going to try to keep that going and keep the positive energy and momentum moving in the right direction.
Here with Odyssey Jones on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Odyssey, you played offensive lineman at Syracuse. You're a big dude, yet you pretty agile bouncing on them ropes, man. Tell me about that.
I'm all right. I do what I can do. The athleticism from the field and from years of sports and stuff definitely helps. The movement's a little bit different. It's a little bit shorter and burstier than football, which is nice and up my speed. It's up my alley. So, I'm not doing as much as it looks like I'm doing, but I appreciate you and I appreciate the love, Dan.
Yeah, and honestly, when you reflect on, who you are as a fighter, who you are in this ring, what you bring to the table in wrestling, how would you describe to somebody who's never seen you, what does an Odyssey Jones battle look like?
That's a good question. I'd have to say almost like a mauler. Like that movie Cocaine Bear that's out?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like being attacked by a cocaine bear. You're just there and you think things is going sweet, and then I'm just on you and catch you with some speed and strength that everyone knows I have and take advantage of the situation. It's not a tough day in the office. It's not an easy day in the office when you're with me. That's for sure.
Yeah, and everybody's looking to find their footing, find their place, find who they are in wrestling. How have you evolved your personality as Odyssey Jones?
It's interesting you say that because I feel that it kind of evolves with me naturally as I grow as a man in life. So my approach kind of changes in ring, kind of with how things are going on in my life outside the ring. Things are kind of, I'm looking at it a little bit more calmer. I'm looking at it a little bit more pragmatic, as in I'm trying to get to my end goal, which is to win every time and try to find the most consistent, effective, and efficient way to get there. So I think the evolution of the time comes, it just kind of grows all in one, me as a person, as an individual, and also me as a worker and a performer for WWE.
When we see you and made mention of this, and like I said, I'm sitting here in the studio. I implore you all to check out these fights. You go to YouTube and search Odyssey Jones. You could check out a bunch of these recent fights. Back on February 7th of this year, we saw you go up against Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and I love what you said about, the movie Cocaine Bear. I'm like that because the broadcaster, the commentator at this fight against Stacks said he's like a big angry bear. And I don't know if you know that he said that during the fight, but back in February he compared you to a big angry bear, just like you compared yourself to the cocaine bear this morning.
Yeah, because I am. I damn near weigh as much as a bear, and I really think if I go one-on-one with a bear, I could probably take him down, a little cub or something. So I think it's a good, good description and a good kind of off the top of the head explanation of how I am and how I look and how I am in the ring.
That coming from Odyssey Jones here this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. WWE NXT, your future favorite. We got a question for you this morning, and it comes from Greg. It says, Odyssey, where do you see your career 1 year from now? Do you visualize plans to be part of WrestleMania XL in Philadelphia, April 2024?
Brother, I've been wanting to be a part of WrestleMania XL since I was a child. That was the one that I always felt I had to be on because it's XL. It's larger than life, and there's no one larger than Odyssey Jones in the WWE. It's a big man's world, and that's my opportunity. So, yes, a year from now, I see myself being at WrestleMania XL in Philly. I see my family coming to see me perform. My family and friends in the area see me perform for the first time on the grandest stage on the wall, on the biggest stage on the wall in front of millions of people, and get kind of immortalized with, one great match or one great moment during WrestleMania. I'm excited for it. I've been working towards literally 40 since I got here. That was the one that I needed to be a part of. And, I got a year to make it happen.
And how do we get there on this road, Odyssey, from where you started to where you are now to WrestleMania XL? How do you envision getting there? What are the steps? What do you need to do to make sure that you're at WrestleMania a year from now?
First and obvious thing is stay healthy. That's always, availability is the best ability in everything. So stay healthy. Second, just keep working. Like I said before, it takes patience and consistency. And, I have to do the same things on the daily to improve and take steps in the right direction. And the third is honestly, just be me. Take the gifts from God that's given to me and accentuate it and highlight it and bring it out to the world and give everyone an opportunity to see who I am, how I feel, and kind of a bit of the energy that I bring to the area, to the arena when I'm there.
Odyssey Jones here with me this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Odyssey, when we look at where you've been and being down in Florida, down in Orlando, we know that that's a mecca for amusement. It's a mecca for entertainment. What has that been for you? How has that helped your career, in your opinion, to be in Central Florida, to be in Orlando, to be in a place where so many people come from all over the world to see entertainment, to be wowed? What's it like to be in a city like that?
It's interesting. I've grown to love Orlando as a city, as a place, and Florida as a state. I think one of the beauties of it is, like you said, this is a big entertainment kind of city, a touristy kind of town, which is nice because you get a good mix of just everything. You meet people and they give you good ideas. You meet people and they do things that might spark up an idea in your mind, or say something that sparks up an idea in your mind. And having so much entertainment in here, we're all kind of, even though we're individual and unique, we all have kind of an overarching kind of similarity of, trying to be charismatic, trying to be liked and appreciated from the world. So we all have kind of a similar approach, which is fun because, you create a bubble, and you create a world with people with very similar kind of dreams, thoughts, and aspirations. So it's nice to work together and see what happens and have ideas bounce off of people and things like that in the area.
Where have you felt that you have most excelled? Like, where do you feel like your career has improved the most from when you and I talked back in August time of last year?
Most excel, confidence. I think even prior to the injury, it took me a little while, but I still feel more confident in myself than ever. I still feel like I'm valuable as an individual and as an asset to the WWE. And I still feel like I have a lot of growing to do and a lot of learning and a lot of positive effect on people, on the wrestling community and the WWE universe.
WWE, it's so large, it's so vast. There's so, it's not an exact science of how you become one of the players on that center stage. What have you learned about how to play the game and how to find your road? Because it's almost like in the world of acting, right? When you look at movies and whatnot, there's no exact science of getting into a movie. There's no exact science of being on the WWE international stage. What have you learned about how to get there when it isn't a clear path from 1 to 2 to 3?
I learned that everyone has different opportunities and everyone has different God-given chances and abilities. And one is to not compare yourself to others because I'm no one else. I'm only me. Two is to be patient and to be like I keep saying, this is my third time saying it, to be patient and consistent, because life has a funny way of flowing and of having highs and lows that kind of make people quit. But you got to be patient with it. And three, trusting yourself and trusting your abilities. When the opportunity comes, you can't doubt yourself. There's already enough doubt in the world for whoever who's hating on you in terms of maybe another performer wishing they had your opportunity, or a fan that just doesn't like you. But just don't doubt yourself and just be confident in what you do and your ability, and be ready for the opportunity whenever it comes.
And for you, Odyssey, what's up next? How can people, if somebody wants to come out, they want to see you live, what can you tell us about what's to come?
Oh man, that's a breeze. If you're ever in Orlando, we can get you a link. We got free tickets for Tuesday night at the Performance Center at 8 p.m. You can come watch us live, bring the family. It's a great kind of week, kind of part of the week. You come down for Disney and then end with a great NXT show, or you get out here for Disney and start with a great NXT show. Locally, we have shows on weekends. They change from spot to spot, so that might be a little bit, not more difficult, but just a little bit more scheduling and planning, which is easy to do. But same thing, a local venue, come in, grab tickets, watch the show, bring the family, and enjoy a good time with us.
To someone who's never seen NXT in the WWE world, how would you describe the environment and the feel of being inside of one of those matches?
I'd have to say electric. It's a smaller, not a smaller venue, but yeah, it's a smaller venue, so everything kind of feels personal. The fans there that are at the shows consistently support us so much and bring the energy and the love day in and day out. So it's great. It's great being there. It's nothing like I've ever experienced before. It's just a great time.
We got another question that came in here, Odyssey. Is there anybody in the business currently that you can attribute your success and future success to moving forward? Is there anybody in the business that you feel has carried you along or helped you along?
There's too many people, from coaches to fellow friends to keep me kind of positive. That's that. If I answered that question, I'd be here all day listing off names of people who taught me how to work, who helped me create ideas, who helped keep my mental health and keep my confidence, to help trainers who helped me rehab, to coaches who helped me ease back into it, to workers who helped me get in the ring and train with me and try new moves and learn new things. So it's a lot. There's always more than one person that goes into everything, and outside of God, it takes a lot of people to kind of influence you and to kind of help you grow to the way you need to be where you have to be. So yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of people that's taking part in small different ways, just giving a little bit, but every little bit, a whole bunch of little sips eventually fills up a cup. So every little bit kind of adds to it.
Yeah, I love that. Every little sip fills up a cup, and I can appreciate that. You spoke about faith, and we've talked about God before. Just what it means to wear that on your chest and to keep that at the center of you, how important your faith is, and how that can be a light in the darkness when you need some direction.
That's everything, because, I've been fortunate to be blessed with a great life so far, and I hope that the ride continues for a long time to come. But I fully understand that there's powers that be and things that happen in this world that I can't control. And those things have been conspiring with me to kind of bring positivity and happiness to myself, and also to kind of go through me to bring that to other people, because sometimes people doubt it, and I think people fear the deferment to a higher power, and people fear the thought of lack of control over their life. But you just got to stay focused. You got to understand what's going on, and you have to understand the bigger picture. And when you start getting out of a selfish kind of closed-in mindset, and you start seeing the bigger picture, you start understanding how the world works in conjunction for everything. It works together for good things and bad things to happen, to good people and bad people. But you just have to understand the bigger picture and how it all works, and kind of what kind of dictates it, which I feel in my short time in life, I feel it's God.
Yeah, I agree. There's I tell people all the time, if you want proof, I got it. You got to sit down and hear it, but it's real. And in Odyssey, we've talked about confidence. We've talked about being there for yourself and being positive. Has there been a moment or two in life where you felt like it was hard to be positive, that you've had to take yourself out of the proverbial black hole? Have you felt that? And if you have felt that, how do you continue to bring yourself back to a positive mindset in a world that seems to enjoy the negative?
Great question. Yes, I feel that. Not all the time, but yes, I do feel that. But I think the easy way to do that, and for everyone in this world, is be grateful. Stop focusing on the negative and focus on the positives. No matter who you are, no matter what's going on, there's always something positive to be focusing on. And if not, just be appreciative that you woke up in the morning and try to make it the best day in a way of saying thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to go give my all and try to be awesome. So, yeah, it's focusing on just being grateful for life and living.
In that being grateful, you're in the ring, you're having a good time, you're thankful for the opportunity and whatnot. As you are in this ring, we see the Odyssey Jones that's yelling, that's vibrant, that's angry, that is this cocaine bear that we talk about. But then I know this other Odyssey Jones, that behind the scenes is calm and philosophical and deep. So how do you bond all of that together, Odyssey? How do you bring that together into one full person when you are this deep thinker, this philosophical person, this faithful person, and at the same time you are a cocaine bear?
That's a good question. I mean, I always felt that Odyssey and Owari are it's one and the same. It's literally the same thing. Odyssey is just a reflection of kind of my, I don't want to say childish nature, but my childish nature, me having fun and being excited for the moment. And then, Owari kind of has the conjunction of all the moments of everything good, bad, and indifferent that happened, and everything kind of stacking on top of each other like layers on a cake. So I think there's a reason for that. And I also feel, and I kind of learned that my perspective and my lifestyle and my everything isn't for everyone. So parts of me that aren't accepted from other people, which there's going to be parts of everyone that aren't accepted from everyone, is kind of just with Owari, and the parts the world needs to see to push me forward as a personality, as a character, as a performer, as a WWE superstar, is all built and rooted in Odyssey.
Yeah, and Odyssey Jones here with me. And Odyssey, before I let you go, you and I, the last time I saw you, and I was down in Orlando for a minute, you said, we're going to get you out, Dan. We're going to go out. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to have some fun. We didn't go out, man. So here's the question. Are we going to be doing that the next time I come down to Orlando? Is there going to be some Odyssey and DT time is what I want to know.
When do you come? When's the next time you come down? Do you have that already set up and everything?
I should. So they're within these next few weeks or month or so. I'm looking at a couple different things. So I need to get myself down there, and I'm looking at a few different dates. I don't have an exact date locked down, but I know that I need to get myself. I'm getting the itch again. So I got a few things on my plan.
And I don't see how you deal with that cold up north. I'm good on that in upstate New York. Once you come down, man, I mean, you definitely got to get to a show. I wish I got you to a show last time. Last time was tough because I literally came straight from the airport to the interview. Last time was a very interesting time with the flight and everything, leaving Seamus's wedding. But no, this time for sure, we go out, we'll do something, have some fun, meet some people, kind of move around. Orlando's a fun city. It's not the largest city or the wildest city in the world. It's not even it's not even the largest city or craziest city in the state. But you could definitely come out and have some fun and meet some people. And it's always an interesting time for me stepping out, honestly. So next time you're down here, we definitely got to go somewhere besides Hooters and and see some stuff and see some people and enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like it's when you and I going out is like when The Rock and Kevin Hart go out. You know what I mean? Because listen, I'm confident, I love myself, I'm happy with who I am. But you see Odyssey Jones, and then you hear me behind him going, listen, wait a minute, what it is. So I mean, that's how I feel it. But man, we definitely, I got to take you up on that. So I will be down soon. I do want to see a show. And I would love to know, what it's like to ride around with Odyssey Jones a day in the life. Would be nice for you and I to kind of just have some time together, because we've never had like a full day to kind of just be and get to know each other that way. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a good time. I mean, don't gas it up. It'd be anything too crazy. You're not like hanging out with one of the presidents or anything. But it'd be a fun time. It'd be an interesting time. I do like having interacting with people and kind of just going with the wind and doing whatever. So it should be enjoyable for sure.
Yeah, I think The Rock and Kevin Hart need to be put on some type of alert, because Odyssey and DT are coming. It's going to be a different world. So
I got some competition coming. They got some comp.
So that being said, Odyssey Jones, you get the final word, Odyssey. So I want you to tell the people, do your thing. Let's, get a feel for Odyssey. We got shows coming up. We have opportunities coming up. We have you as you evolve here and grow. So you get the final word to tell the world who Odyssey Jones is whenever you're ready.
Great question. Hi, Odyssey Jones is an individual walking the path, going through the journey of life, just like everyone else. The beauty of it is that, you get to kind of see everything, and I'm kind of an open book. I can tell stories and moments that happen, good, bad, and indifferent. But through it all, I think I want to be able to show and reflect that faith, love, and care is not gone in this world, that it's still here, and that no matter what happens, all trials and tribulations, and Lord knows I've gone through positives and negatives, short term and long term, but through it all you could keep your head high, be proud of who you are, love who you love, be who you are, and let the world interact with you in your truest form.
Odyssey Jones. Faith, love, positivity. That was great. That was beautiful. Man, you know what? Every time I talk with you, I get amped up. So I'm in the studio right now. I'm ready for a fight. It's Tuesday. So, I mean, it's Tuesday morning. I'm sitting here in the studio. I got snow outside. I'm about to go outside, punch some snow. But I mean,
Snow outside.
but you know what I mean? You definitely, you bring that love, you bring that positivity, you bring that good energy, that good flavor, and I can't thank you enough for connecting with me again, letting me tell your story, trusting me with that, and building our friendship. And I want you to know this, Amari Palmer, Odyssey Jones, all together in one. I want you to know this. I can't wait to see you, number one, but I really need you to hear me on this thing. You inspire energy, positive energy, good energy. You inspire me to get amped, to get up there, to get ready. And if you can make me feel like that through a phone, I can only imagine what you make people feel like in a ring, and what you can do to inspire people around you and to really build your brand and who you are. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. And I'm proud to be your friend. So above everything else, Odyssey, I want to say thank you this morning, because I'm amped, and I'm ready to go make a hype video right now because of you.
Hey, it's no problem, Dan. I wish the schedule, because the schedule kind of kept changing day to day. I wish the schedule was kind of different. I wish I didn't get but if I had a bit more free time, we would have been talking longer. It's always a great time talking to you. It's never ever a burden to me. It's just sometimes I will admit I'm just busy and just tired. It's tough being the high energy guy when you're kind of not always high energy. So, thank you, Dan. Thank you for having me. I loved every second of it. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and it's always an honor to be on the show and be a part of what you're doing and watching it grow and everything.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Amari Palmer, Odyssey Jones. Go see him, WWE NXT. Get the information. Get down to Orlando. See these fights. And you can be sure that we'll be doing some fun stuff soon. As always, Odyssey, I appreciate you.
Of course, brother. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too. Take care. That coming from Odyssey Jones once again here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You might know him from Syracuse Orange football history as Amari Palmer. And Odyssey Jones, you know him in WWE NXT. fantastic human, man of his word, and he did. He was at Seamus Shanley's wedding. It was crazy because I went down to Florida when Seamus was getting married up here, and Seamus and I are friends as well. And so Seamus getting married, I was going down to Florida setting up for the college and pro football week, and that we were doing at Hooters. I drive Orlando, so I'm down there doing that, and Amari and I, Odyssey and I, he's supposed to be my first guest, and the flights got all messed up, and there's different things going on, so he literally went to the wedding, had that weekend, got a flight, flew. I was talking to him when I was at Epcot, because I was down at Epcot, I think it was Sunday. I was down at Epcot. We were talking on the phone, trying to figure things out. He got a flight, got down, and then thankfully we moved our show time to lunchtime. And for that week, from 12 to 2, we moved it to, so we could be with people at Hooters for lunch, and because they open at 11. And our show typically is obviously 9 to 11. So we changed the time, and he was able to get back. He had like an hour, and he came from the airport to come do the show. And we had an incredible, philosophical, deep, funny, real broadcast. And, I mean, it's awesome. So I know that I can function on no sleep. I also know that Odyssey Jones can too. So big shout out to Odyssey, the big man. That's my dude. Watch out, Kevin Hart and The Rock, Big O, and the Big O show and DT are on their way. So and obviously I'm all about being original. So we're not trying to copy nobody, not trying to be like that. We I'd make a joke about The Rock and Kevin Hart, but we're coming for you as Odyssey Jones and Dan Tortora DT. So definitely appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and getting to hear the story of Odyssey. And big thanks to Odyssey Jones for being awesome. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back after this. Plenty more coming up. We have 2 teams from the same school vying for state titles this week. In the Final Four for girls basketball in New York State, we have Liverpool Warriors. In the Final Four for boys basketball for states, we have Liverpool Warriors, and they're both going to be joining me, the head coaches, after this fast break. We'll have Mike Wheeler first for girls basketball, then boys basketball. We'll have Ryan Blackwell. I am ecstatic. I've gotten to be with these teams, again, like with Frank Colabufo. I got to, we do our Liverpool high school show every month on site on location at Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. I have sat with this Liverpool girls basketball team. I've sat with this Liverpool boys basketball team, sat with Blackwell, sat with Wheeler. And now these 2 coaches are leading their programs to their respective Final Fours in states. They're in the semifinals with an opportunity at the finale and state titles for them to both be going after a state title in the same year together is incredible. It's remarkable. It's beautiful. And I can't wait to tell the story, continue to tell the story after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets life. Once again, Mike Wheeler coming up, and after Mike Wheeler, Ryan Blackwell, as the Liverpool Warriors vie for a girls basketball state title and a boys basketball state title in the same year, both in the Final Four, both coming up this week. I can't wait. So, with that being said, we'll take a step aside here inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. We want to thank you for being a part of Cafe Kubal by going to 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, New York, as well as by going to 343 Fayette Street in Manlius in their giant behemoth of a brown striped building, the Welcome Center of Manlius, as all roads converge into Manlius. It's right there, and you can't miss it. It's a double-decker cafe, so head out there, 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse in their drive-through location. Appreciate y'all, and we'll be back with so much more coming up. We've already spoken with a state champion head coach. We've spoken with your future favorite Odyssey Jones, and we have 2 more coaches coming up vying for state titles this year. I'm telling you, folks, you got to listen. Central and upstate New York, we got a lot going on. A lot of great positives, a lot of great coaches, a lot of great student athletes, a lot of great schools, and plenty more right after this. Avicolli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicolli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicolli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9Campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. This is a special message from 317 at Montgomery restaurant owner Joel Carpenter. Open Tuesday through Saturday for your dining pleasure on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York.
We wanted to be a part of the resurgence of Syracuse. We saw a lot of money being put into bringing people back downtown and thought that, we'd like to be a part of that. I love putting together a good dish where people see it first, they fall in love with it, and then it tastes just as good as it looks. We want to provide the best food in Syracuse that we possibly can, and we want you to leave here talking to your family, your friends about what you had to eat first and foremost, but also our service, and to walk out feeling like you're part of our family. I work out in the front of the house a lot, and I love walking to every single table, asking them how everything is, and people looking at me and smiling and saying, this is the most amazing short rib I've ever had. This is the most amazing filet I've ever had. And Donna is great. Sarah's amazing. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. And them just being truly happy for the experience that they've gotten.
317 at Montgomery Restaurant, part of the fabric of downtown Syracuse, located on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday for a unique and memorable dining experience. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, hanging out with you where sports meets that thing called life. And we appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time inside of these Cafe Kubal studios. You're with us on YouTube.com as well as on Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. And you're with us on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So however you're connected with the show, we thank you so much for tuning in and for being here. We have had a tremendous broadcast already, and we have two coaches to speak with that are vying for state titles still here on the broadcast. So I'm so honored, so privileged, as always. We were talking off the air, and building a friendship with our next guest has meant so much to me. And we were talking about a bunch of different stuff. We could have just sat on the phone and caught up. I figured maybe I should include you all in it around the country and the world, and that is with Mike Wheeler, the head coach of the Liverpool girls basketball team, heading to the Final Four, the semifinals of the New York State playoffs, with an opportunity at a state title in his first season overseeing the program. Mike Wheeler did incredible things with OCC, putting them on the map and raising them to be ranked top in the nation, top 3 in the nation, the amount of wins that they had, the incredible recruiting that they did, and everything they put together with it, the coaching staff, and just the history there at OCC. Then he comes over to Liverpool, and that positive history continues as the team is en route to a hopeful opportunity at a state title, and they will have their crack at it with the Final Four game coming up here this week. So with that being said, I reintroduce for, I think this is his 1,000th and 22nd appearance on Wake Up Call. If his appearances to Wake Up Call to Jim Boeheim's wins, I think they're pretty close. And I'm very happy to have Wheels back on the show. Mike Wheeler, the head coach of Liverpool varsity girls basketball. Wheels, how we doing?
Hey Dan, how are you doing? That was quite the introduction there. And again, I don't ever like being on the same plane as Jim Boeheim, because that's a high spot to catch. He's definitely a legend, and I appreciate the 1,022 times. But that puts me at a very old age if we spoke that many times.
Yeah, Wheels has been on the show for a while here. We've gotten to spend a lot of time together, and we were talking off the air, you and I, about the fact that you've given me the great privilege and the honor with the show that we do monthly at Avicolli's that is exclusive with Liverpool Warriors Athletics. You've given me the opportunity to speak with your team and be around your team so many times, and to be able to come to practice this season, to be able to sit with these young women and to sit with your coaching staff and yourself has meant the world to me. And, to be able to tell the story from physically being within the story means a lot. So, before anything else and before we talk about the state playoffs, I want to say thank you for once again allowing me to be around one of your programs and to really get to know the people that are behind this incredible season.
Well, you bet, Dan. I mean, it's great, and I appreciate all you do, and your hard work and everything, and inviting us and being there and supporting us, and it's been really nothing but great stuff for the Liverpool community, both our basketball teams, both programs. It's just great to see people like yourself always supporting not only Liverpool when that I'm there, but also when I was at OCC. You just did a great job, and I appreciate all that you do. So thank you.
Well, thank you for those words, Mike. I appreciate it. It's when you have such great coaches and great student athletes, it makes it easy. And there's been tremendous people that have built up this community that is my home and means so much to me, you being one of them. And, I know that you give credit everywhere else, and I know that your team's got to play the game, but what a fantastic run, and so far with more fight to be had here by the Liverpool Warriors. What has it been like to coach this group? Of all the teams you've ever had in your life, collegiately and now in high school, what has it been like for you? What has been the challenge for you this year of coaching this specific unit?
I think the big thing with this group is what I enjoyed is the fun aspect of it. They're a fun group of kids, and I think if the challenge portion of it would have been, you're playing for a new head coach at the beginning of the year, taking over a program, and I come in and implement a whole new program, whole new offense, whole new defensive scheme, a whole different realm of everything, and the one thing for what I'm just so happy that these kids, and I give a lot of credit to what they've done, is how hard it is to do something like that. You go from one system to another system in 1 year, and they bought into what we do, and that's why we're playing for a state championship, is they bought into my system. They like playing the way I've always liked to play with my programs. We go up and down. We're high energy. We're trapping all over the floor. We just do defensively is how we create our offense, and it's hard to teach, especially younger groups, this scheme. And the fact that they've picked up on it is just outstanding. And I give them so much credit for, they could get to a point where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't feel like it, but they believe, we're playing this defense majority of every time we step on the floor. And, it doesn't matter if teams have a couple successful possessions against it, they continue to battle. And it happened the other night in the state regional quarterfinals. They were breaking our zone down a bit, and we weren't in the right spots, but, we take timeouts. We talk about what we need to do defensively, and where we need to be on certain possessions, and they go out and they do it. And we got 3 straight stops on 3 big possessions, and, we win a state quarterfinal game. It's just the fact that they just keep working, and they don't ever give up. And, they're just a great group of kids to coach.
Yeah, and this run for you, I mean, with this group, I've gotten to know their personalities. I've gotten to be around them and, get a feel for who they are. How would you describe it? How would you describe the room of personalities that you have here? Because if anybody goes back and watches our shows, which I'm going to share again this week from Avicolli's, for those of you that might want to see it again, or those that may have missed it, there's so many personalities on this team, and it's a delight to be around them and to get to know them. And at the same time, I could probably admit that I'm sure that you have an interesting practice or two with the different personalities you have. So I'd love for you to describe what the group is like through your eyes.
Well, it's funny, but I mean, you as a coach, you deal with it with, any team. You just have a group of different personalities, and you have to find a way to make sure they all blend together well. And that's the making of a good team. And that's great. And everybody's going to experience that as a coach. You're going to experience teams with so many different personalities. And what's great about our group is the fact that we all have our different quirks and stuff like that. And, but each person knows how to deal with them. Someone might, crack a joke about, something that, they think is funny, and then someone else is totally different, cracking a joke about something else that doesn't really make sense to the situation, but it's her way of cracking a joke. But we all get to know why that person does that, or why they have that certain mannerism. And it's great to see that. And, what I like about it is we can have fun. We always meet in the middle of the circle before we start practice every day. And it kind of gives us time to just kind of talk about whether it be our day or some things that might be on our mind, or jokes that everyone has. And then I give them time to get it all out. And then we get to talk about the practice ahead of us, and, some of the key things I want to work on, or we want to work on as a team. And then we get to work, and that's what's fun about this group. And that's how you're dealing with these different personalities is you let them kind of show it and give it at one time, and then you shut it down, and then we go to work. And that's pretty much what they do and how we do things.
Yeah, and when you have like that, you said you get together, and you are able to talk about your day, you're able to talk about what's going on. How important is that for you as a coach to have that time in a practice where you can come together and say, okay, you know what, we worked on this drill, we ran, we went over this, but now it's time to kind of just be a family in the sense of let's catch up. How's everybody doing? What's going on? How important is it for you as a leader of any program to show your team that you care and that you want to take some time to see how they're doing outside of basketball?
Well, I think it's important for any coach. Not only should you be able to coach on the floor, but you should also be able to coach off the floor. And, I don't get to spend a lot of time with them in school. I'm not around them all day. So, that time we have in the circle, whether it be 10 minutes before practice starts or as they shoot around and warm up while I come into the gym, I try and make a point to make sure they all see me. I say hello, we'll fist pump, how's things. And then the circle gives us, a good 10 minutes to, if anyone has something to say or, and usually it's different people every day. You have your quiet ones that really don't talk a lot, but, we have a thing that we say before every practice starts. We have a word of the day, and, it could be energy, it could be motivation, it could be focus, it could be so many different words, and I always tell the girls to make sure that you're ready, because if I call upon you, I want a good word, and it's a different person, every day. But we have a senior, Caitlin Fico, and she's quiet, but hardworking kid, and she works hard. But she's like, she has a dictionary in her head. So it's funny. Everybody, there's one or two that are pretty good about coming up with it, but every time I pick on someone that has no idea, they look right at her and she'll whisper it, and it's and they're like, thanks Kate, and then we'll say the word. That person has to say the word, but I'm like, boy, girls, it's a good thing that Fico's here, otherwise you guys would be lost. But she's so it's nice, and we take the word serious, and that's what we want to do throughout the practice. If it's a focus, we talk about our word. Let's stay focused for the whole practice. If it's energy, let's have energy the whole practice. So it's a good thing that I've always done. I did it at OCC. We always start in a circle and talk and get ready for a good practice after that.
Yeah, and here with Mike Wheeler, the head coach of the Liverpool Warriors girls basketball team, with an opportunity here at a state title in his first season as the head coach of the varsity team, heading to the Final Four this week. And two of the guests that I had the last time we were at Avicolli's, and would love to speak with you on them, is your assistants that you have, with that being Kyle Crescenti as well as Holly Sleeth. And I know that Holly, we talked about the history and that she played for you and whatnot. Just what Kyle and Holly bring to this program and their special touch on this year's team.
Well, the great thing about them is, start with Kyle first. Kyle is an experienced, young basketball coach that's been around the program for several years. He's had most of these, almost all of these girls have played for him at a younger level, starting back when they played modified ball. Kyle was around and kind of saw them up through the JV level, and now he's been at the varsity level for the last 2 years. So it's great to have him, because he knows, we just talked about, personalities and the way the girls play and what they did for, when they played for him. So it's great to have him to kind of, he knows the game, he knows the way they play the game. So it's great. And just, to have someone talk to, to have both of them, Holly too, on the bench, it's great to have a conversation. We talk all the time during timeouts. We'll talk throughout the game. and then you bring Holly into the mix of things, and Holly's played for me for 2 years at OCC. She knows my system really well. She knows what I like to see from my players. So to have her there to kind of, push the same system that I teach to the girls is great as well. So it's a great complementary group to have. And, we wouldn't be where we are if I hadn't had them. Holly's great with all the little things that we do. Just got to keep me organized, and Holly's always able to keep me organized because I'm focusing on some coaching stuff and all the X's and O's and stuff, but she just does a great job all around with being part of practice and doing all the other little things too. So I appreciate the both of them. They're great coaches to have.
And having that supportive coaching staff and having, your supportive family. I want to go to that side of it as well. The boys and your wife. I know that I know today on a snow day you have some other duties, Coach. I know that you told me. I hope you don't mind if I share this, but your honey-do list has been set out for you today, I guess. So what does that list contain for a day away? When you have a snow day, what is Mike Wheeler doing at the house? Are we shoveling? What are we doing?
No, the good thing is to get the driveway plowed. So that's one good thing I don't have to do. But it doesn't mean that there's nothing else inside the house that needs to be done. This is the time to fix things. As you have 3 boys, and sometimes our house turns into a hockey rink, which all 3 of them play hockey. And we pretty much, they know that hockey is supposed to take place in the basement because our basement's unfinished, and they have their shooting room down there and so on and so forth. But at times, for some reason, the hockey sticks and the pucks end up in the living room upstairs, and and then there's a lamp that might be broken, and there's like a glass that might need to be fixed. So barring those major situations, it's all the upkeep of the cleaning and so on and so forth. And, it's because you don't get that much time during, the season. And, my wife's just a principal, and, the boys are playing hockey and I'm coaching. So the weekends are pretty much full of things. So you have to take that time when you have it to kind of catch up on things, laundry and stuff like that. And, so there's a list of things, and then you got to make sure the boys are occupied, and otherwise you'll have more things broken. But it just doesn't stop in the Wheeler house, and it's not a bad thing. It's always entertaining, and always we talk about hard work. It's hard work.
Yeah, and the balance of all of this. I mean, you and I have been through, I think you retired for a shorter time period than Brett Favre. And I credit, and I do want to make note of that, but it's like you had that time during COVID, you stepped away, you had some time and went out and did some things with the family, and you continue to do things with the family. But, I've chronicled the Danny, I'm going to finish up here, to my joke of saying, call me when you come back, to then we talked when you came back, to now you're vying for a state title. It's been a very unique and interesting run for you, and I believe I clocked your retirement at 12.5 seconds, so I just wanted to know if I was accurate.
I guess you were close. I'll give you close. Okay. I think I had 6 months or so to kind of ponder retirement and then enjoy it, and maybe even a little less than that, 3 months. But it's just we always talk about things. Things happen for a reason. You just don't know where you're going to end up. You just don't know what things happen in your life, decisions you have to make, but the opportunity that has arisen for me to coach at Liverpool, and Ari Lieberman giving me opportunity in the administration to lead the program. I'm ecstatic for it, and the opportunity that we have ahead of us to win a state title is it's been an unbelievable ride, and we're just excited that we have that opportunity as a group to win a state title.
Yeah, and this is a wonderful, wonderful moment for you, for the community, and for obviously the school, and for this team specifically for girls basketball. So before I let you go here, Mike, just what you want to say to the Liverpool community, their support, what you have learned of how they interact with your team, how they show up, what they do, just what it's been like to really dive into the Liverpool community over these last couple of years, and especially this season.
Well, I think you always talk about fans and support and the administration, coaches and everything. And I think that's really been what has been the best about this community. At our home games, even on the road, just to see the crowd get into every basketball game that we play. It's like having that sixth man. It's like having someone right there with you every step, and they've been great. And the best was this last couple weekends when we won the first sectional title in 16 years for this program. To look back in the stands and just see the elated, the parents and the administration and everyone just cheering. And then being back in the same spot this past weekend and then state quarterfinals, it was just one experience that, you'll never forget. This is the first time the Liverpool girls basketball program's been in the Final Four since 1988. They have a lot to be excited about. They have a lot to be happy about. And you can tell by, the support. I get text messages all the time from everybody in the district and some teachers and, just congratulations. We're so excited. I'm going to be following you. You guys have just been one heck of a run. So just to hear all that from everyone in the community, it's just been a great year and a great season. And, make me feel welcome in my first year as head coach as well. It's just been special.
You talk about first time since 1988, just what that history means to you and what it means to these girls to be doing something that hasn't been done in such a long time for Liverpool girls basketball.
I was a sophomore in high school playing basketball myself. So that also makes me feel real old, and we talked earlier in the year about a couple of goals that we had as a basketball team, and I know we talked about winning a sectional title being one. And we gave ourselves that goal. We won a sectional title. And I talked about being a program changer. Change the program. 1988, last Final Four appearance, 16 years, last sectional title. Be that team to change the program. And now the younger group of kids coming up, that we have some great basketball talent at the younger levels. Show them what they have to look forward to and give them that opportunity down the road to possibly play for a sectional title.
That coming here from Mike Wheeler. Mike, with this game coming up here, your last game, what you got to reflect on here when you went up against Albany High and defeated them 56-51. Just what you can say about this matchup specifically, gutting it out and finding a way in a 2-possession game down the stretch to move forward.
We talked about the first half of play. We just didn't play well. We hadn't played well in the sectional final game against CNS. We struggled in the first half too, and same thing happened against Albany. It took a little bit to get going, and again, we talk about we're a defensive-minded basketball team, and our offense just thrives off the way we play defense, and we were slow to get going. We got out rebounded on the glass against Albany, and they made it real tough for us to get into our offensive sets, to score. Again, generating any offense, that was an issue with us in the first half. But, we were down 27-18, and with like 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and we went on a 7-0 run to 7-2 run, and we got it to 3 at the break, and that was a good run for us. We had a big 3, and we got a stop and a score, and I think we got a bucket just before the break in the first half, and we weren't very good from the foul line. We finished the game 16 for 31 from the line. So those are all things that I talk to the girls about that we can control. We want to control the things that we can control. Sometimes you can't make all the shots. Sometimes you're going to miss shots, but we can control if we make a layup. We can control if we make a foul shot. We can control if we rebound a basketball. And those are the 3 things we didn't do well. And we gave them a lot of extra possessions in the first half, but I thought we got it together in the second half, and we tweaked our zone a little bit, and we got those possessions off the glass that we needed. We got the defensive stops that we needed, and we got a couple runouts that kind of got us going. And you ask for big plays down the stretch. You have a senior leader in Nevaeh Wingate. She finished the game with 18 points and 16 rebounds. And Jakira Stackhouse, another senior, with 10 points and 14 rebounds. So then some of the younger kids hit some big shots for us. Our point guard, Gianna Washington, hit a huge 3 for us to get the game to 1. Kay Sweeney, a junior, she hit 2 foul shots. We were up 1 with 16 seconds to go. She hit 2, nothing but net, didn't even touch the rim. And just before that, she had a lefty runner in the lane that put us up 3. Like, those are huge possessions that we didn't have in the first half, and to have those possessions down the stretch in a game like that was big for us. And I give credit to them. They just worked hard. They battled, and defensively we were phenomenal in the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. And that was what won the game for us. Is defensively. We were great, and that needs to continue if we want to get ourselves to play for a state championship. Our defense has to be great. It can't be good. We have to be great.
Coming here from Mike Wheeler, Liverpool girls basketball head coach. We know that this coming Friday, folks, just a couple days away, not that far away here, Friday, March 17th at 8 p.m., Hudson Valley Community College, Section 1's White Plains, and the winner will go to Saturday night's title game at 8:45. What do you know about White Plains that you can tell us, Wheels, and as well as why people should come out this coming Friday, March 17th at 8 p.m. to Hudson Valley Community College?
White Plains is very similar to what we saw on this past Saturday. Albany and White Plains played earlier in this year. Albany came away with a victory over White Plains. But White Plains is a very similar basketball team. They're going to pressure us full court. They're going to pressure the basketball all over the place. They're going to make it difficult for us to get into our sets. And I think for us that we have to be able to defend, and defend great, just like I said before, so we can get our offense going. And we want to go up and down. We want to play fast. And if we can do that, we'll have success. They have a guard that's going to Ryder on a full ride, D1 scholarship to Ryder. She's a one heck of a point guard, 2 guard and point guard. She shoots it well. She dribble penetrates, but they also have girls that can knock down the 3 from the perimeter. They have a 6-foot post player inside that makes things a little hard for us to score inside, but we have to be aggressive inside. Offensively, we got to win the glass battle for us. Those are some of the keys if we want to find ourselves in the state championship game on Saturday night. That's what we have to do to be successful. The fans and the community to come out. There's nothing better than watching a team that has an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done in a very long time and possibly win a state championship. If I can say anything, that would be the number one thing, to be a part of it and to actually watch it live. And you're going to see a really good basketball game.
And coming from Mike Wheeler here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Wheels, as always, I appreciate you. I'm happy that your unretirement happened at the time that it did, so that we could see this. And for you, for Kyle, for Holly, for the entire team, for all the student athletes, for, just the Division I caliber talent that you have on this team, and for the fight that you've had all season long. It's been special. It's been great to see through my viewfinder. And this Friday night, people got somewhere to go, somewhere to be, and a big game to be had. So big shout out to you and to the girls. Give them my best. And I look forward to seeing you all soon, talking with you all soon. And as always, God bless the run, man. You've done so much for our community, and I'm so happy to see what you're all going to do. And this team has been tremendous. The personalities, the fight, the desire, the want to. It's been great to be around them, and I'm so proud of them, as I know you are. So thank you for everything, and thanks to the team as well.
And thanks as always. I appreciate it.
All right, I'll talk with you soon.
Take care.
Take care. That coming from Mike Wheeler here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. And we're going to jump into our next conversation immediately here, as we have an opportunity to speak with the boys basketball side of things at Liverpool High School as we get into our conversation with Ryan Blackwell. So Liverpool Warriors boys basketball head coach, both of these teams vying for an opportunity at a state title in the same year. Remarkable to see one team do it, even more remarkable to see both teams do it in the same season. And this has been a wonderful run for Ryan Blackwell and Liverpool Warriors boys basketball. So with that being said, it is my honor and my privilege to welcome Ryan back to the show. And so many great things going on here in our community, including this Warriors boys basketball team with another opportunity at a state title. So let's bring him in. Ryan, how are we doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And first and foremost, congratulations on the advancement to where this team is. And I know this has been an incredible run and an exciting run for you and the guys. So, emotions-wise, bring me to what's going through your mind, what's going through your heart, how you're handling this really special run as this team has an opportunity at a state title.
Yeah, the guys are excited. We're excited. Every year the goal is to win as many games as possible. Last year we came up a little short in regionals, and we lost 7 seniors and then ended up losing 2 guys to prep school that would have been starters. So we weren't sure what we were going to have. And, during the summer we had Andreo and Bruce and Jadir and, Luke and Jason and other guys. And I said, we'll have enough to compete as long as we stay healthy, and we'll see what happens. And, the guys have worked hard. They've bought in. They've listened. And here we are.
Yeah, and from the beginning of the season to now, Ryan, where have you really, when you dissect how this team has evolved to where they are today, in that evolution, what are some of these pieces that were at the beginning of the season teachable pieces that you were hoping would get implemented to things that you've actually seen happen? What are some of those things that have come together for the team this season?
Well, defensively, we've really gotten better and better and locked in. I think that's where we've really become a great team on the defensive end. Offense comes and goes, but we're committed to playing on the defensive end. We have guards that, play 94 feet for 32 minutes. They don't give opponents anything easily. They're physical, they're athletic, they're tough. And then with Andreo in the back, anchoring our defense, averaging 5 blocks a game. Sometimes he has 7, 8, 9 blocks. So he's really instrumental. But just overall, our defensive effort and our communication, the way we've gotten better defensively has really been the key.
When we look at that, people focus on offense, but, I think good coaches, great coaches focus on defense. This defense for you and what it's been able to do for you, like you said, the ability to block those shots and what the things that you create in the 94 feet of defense that you're going to bring each and every night. How much fun has it been with this specific group to run the defense that you run?
When a team is bought in like that, it becomes easy. The things I've been teaching times I've been here, we do things a little bit differently defensively. We blew everything in shape everything away from the middle, and we switch when we need to switch. We have interchangeable pieces, with our wings and our guards, and we're athletic. So, when these guys are talking, I have to do less coaching. That's more fun.
Yeah, and like you said, when these guys are talking, you get to do less coaching. To see that leadership on the floor and to see people become that floor general, that floor coach for you, who has really surprised you in that sense that has become so vocal this season?
Freddie Fowler is a sophomore. Stepped right in. I played JV last year, and he was a starter from the beginning. He's a blue-collar kid that just wants to win. And for a sophomore to step up like that, he's vocal. He gets the guys going. He plays defense. He does all the little things, takes charges. So he's really been very instrumental in our run, not just in the playoffs, but throughout the season. And Jadir Reese has really grown. This is his third year of varsity playing for me, but he's really grown this year, taking that leadership role on both ends of the floor. Offensively, he's gotten better. And defensively, he's been much, much better and more disciplined and more consistent.
Here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Cubal studios this morning with Liverpool Warriors boys basketball head coach Ryan Blackwell. Ryan, to step away from this team for a second, I don't know if you heard the news. It was nothing big. It wasn't carried internationally or anything. Some guy, Jim Boeheim, he had coached for a little while, and he decided that he was going to step away. I don't know if that news had carried over to Central New York from Greensboro, but your take on Jim. He was your coach, and all jokes aside, 47 years, incredible coach, 1,116 wins, Final Fours in 4 different decades, made it 5 times, won a national championship, coached Team USA, knows what it's like to win a gold medal in the world game, and so much more. I'd love to get your thoughts on Jim.
I mean, you said it right there. His track record, his pedigree, his resume speaks for itself. He was great to play for. He's been done great things on the court. Won, obviously, second most all-time in wins. But what he's done for the community, for Syracuse, for the university, for all the players that have played for him, and very loyal person. He deserves a statue, which I'm sure he'll get, in a parade at some point. So he's put in. That's unheard of. What he's done will never be done again. It's just that longevity in any sports, in any business, any profession. It's just, you don't see that very often. That's very rare.
Yeah, I mean, you being a head coach, I mean, in today's day and age, 47 years in one place as a head coach, then an assistant before that and a player before that. I mean, you coach this game, you love this game, and you're with it day in and day out. Can you even fathom what it would be like to be on the other side of 47 years?
No, I mean, it takes a lot of coaching. You have to be patient. It can be stressful at times, and there's a lot to deal with. And families that have kids. And I have a daughter now, so I know what it's like to coach at the high school level and have a kid, but he's at the collegiate level. More games, more stress, more pressure. So to be able to do that for a long time and sustain that consistency, which he's really had for the most part, besides a couple of years, but it's remarkable.
Here with Ryan Blackwell, speaking on Jim Boeheim here for a second. You talk about what it's like to be a head coach. What have you learned about yourself from the time that you first came back to Syracuse, and you and I spoke about you taking over the Liverpool program to where you are today? You've already won a state title. You have an opportunity to do it again. What have you learned about Ryan Blackwell, the coach, in these last few years?
Well, it's always a learning process. I'm always learning and trying to improve no matter what. We want a state title, but we want to win more. And the game evolves and changes. So as the game changes, I have to change, and culture changes, kids change. Kids are different now than they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, than when I was in high school. So you just have to evolve and adapt and adjust and continue to grow, and that's what I try to do every day.
And how have you seen yourself evolve? Where have you adapted? Where have you evolved and adjusted that you think has been maybe one of the biggest parts of your success?
Just trying to learn more about the game every day. Learn and watch different, watch games, watch film, pick up things from other coaches, go back and watch film from, years ago to now, changing up offenses, changing up maybe strategy or style, making it more simple. Just trying to continue to develop my craft and be better and better. Develop players to be more patient, if that's possible, because I'm usually a patient guy anyway. But like I said, it's a daily growth process. Just trying to be better and better every day.
Yeah, and in that process, Ryan, like you said, normally you're a patient guy, and you're a student of the game, watching it and whatnot. You talked about the student athlete, you're right, and how the student athlete has changed over time. How is it to coach today's student athlete, and how have you had to adjust? Like, what do you have to change in the specific delivery of teaching nowadays as a coach?
You just have to keep their attention. It just depends on the kid. Every kid's different. This is a social media era where everyone's a star because they put a couple highlights on YouTube or video, and the parents think they're all superstars and the greatest thing since Michael Jordan. But I keep it real with them. I'm honest with them, and whether they like it or not, they're gonna have to deal with it because that's just the reality of it. That's the way I coach. I don't sugarcoat it. I tell them the truth, and I'm honest with them, but I love them at the same time. And I think they respect that, and that's, I have to be true to myself, and that's really what it comes down to.
And being true to yourself, being, unapologetically Ryan Blackwell, how would you describe what it is to be you, to be unapologetically you? What is it about you that is non-negotiable as a coach, as a person, that you keep with yourself at all times?
I mean, I think I just, said it. I'm just honest. I don't know how to, that's just my personality. I just try to be honest. I don't lie to the kids. We watch film, and we point out flaws and mistakes, and not to say that I'm always right, because sometimes I point out things during the game and we'll go back and film. I say, okay, I was wrong on that and you were right. It's not like I'm the dictator. But I am the head coach. But we sit down and we talk about it. I watch film with the guys, and we have conversations, and it's not just coach player. I'm a mentor to these guys, and they understand that I'm trying to win, but at the same time, they understand that I care about it. I care about them, and I'm passionate about them, just as I'm passionate about coaching basketball.
And in making this run to where you are today, can you go back to a moment or two this season, be it in a practice, be it in a game, in a win, or in a loss? Do you have a place this season that you felt was a turning point for the team?
Well, when Andrea went down and we had to, figure out who we were without him, he was out for 3 games. We lost, or we won. We beat FM. We lost to Green Tech by a few points without him, which we should have won the game. And we had a bad game against Nottingham, but we figured out some things about who we were, individually, as our players individually and as a team. So when he came back, I think we just improved and we got better and better from there.
And you discuss, that game against Green Tech. You had the opportunity to go up against them again, and to be in a situation to advance this late in the season. Bring me into when you got to see Green Tech again, and what this game 65-49 has done for the team at this point. That next opportunity to see a team that you had seen, that you do know, and to be able to this time around get the victory over them.
Yeah, we lost to them last year twice. Very close games both times at their place, and then in the regionals in overtime, which was tough last year, and then obviously here again. And we wanted a shot at them again. We were kind of paying attention to what was going on in Section 2, and they've been playing well. They really rolled through their sectionals, and they beat CVA Albany in their sectional finals by like 25 or 30, and handled the number 1 team out of their Boston Spa. They had them down 20 and ended up winning by 1, but they were playing really well, so we were excited to get another shot at them. And like I said, defensively, these guys are motivated, and they really locked down on defense and made it tough for them, and came out with a big win.
You know what it's like to be there in 2018. Here we are in 2023. What has changed in the world of high school basketball, what has stayed the same as you're trying to make this run again?
Well, for us personally, we're just a different team. Our chemistry is totally different. You know, that team was very senior heavy. This team, like I said, we have two senior starters and two junior starters and one sophomore. We have a lot of juniors, role players coming off the bench. So we're a lot different. We're a lot younger, but talent-wise, and I think defensively overall, we might be a little bit better than that team from top to bottom. So that's a big difference for us. But again, it's just basketball's basketball. You know, whenever you're at this level and this stage, everyone's playing well and should be playing their best basketball. So regardless who you're going to play against, it's going to be a tough game, tough opponent.
And coming up this Friday, March 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, North Rockland. Just what you could say about this upcoming matchup and this opportunity in the state semifinals here in the Final Four with an opportunity to head to the championship.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I'll watch a little film. We'll watch film as a team tomorrow and break down, you know, everything that they bring to the table and figure out what we need to do and go from there. But the guys are hungry, they're excited, and looking forward to it.
And I gotta ask you before I let you go, Ryan. Adrian Autry, you know, obviously someone that you built a relationship with and, you know, have a connection to. Just what your thoughts are on him taking over the program, because as you vie for this state title, you're also a Syracuse Orange basketball alum and connected to this family. We spoke on Jim Boeheim. Would love to get your thoughts on Red taking over.
Yeah, great hire. Obviously, Red's put in the time, alumni who's been there for a long time as well. That aside from basketball, Red is a great person. Will connect with the kids. Obviously, that's why he's a great recruiter. They respect him. You know, when I go to practices and I watch him, you know, work out the guys and just his interactions with people, he's just a down-to-earth, easygoing, approachable person, which is, you know, great for him and an easy fit. And you can see why guys are, you know, intrigued to go play for him. Kids will be intrigued to play for him. He's going to do a tremendous job. He still has a great staff. Alan Griffin, obviously, is my guy, and McNamara, great guy too, and great coaches in their own right. So they're going to do a great job.
Well, I will tell you this, Ryan, and take it as a compliment, if for nothing else, that there's a seat open on that assistant coaching staff, and so many people reflecting on what you've done as a coach over the years, they think you're deserving of that seat. So I feel the need to tell you and tell the world at the same time that there's a lot of respect for what you're doing at Liverpool, and it's not going unnoticed.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, obviously it helps when you're in the backyard of Syracuse, and you know, we're having a lot of success for the last several years. And you know, like I said, I realize there's a seat open, but we have a job to do. We're trying to win a state title, and you know, you never know what the future holds.
That coming from Ryan Blackwell here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Black, I appreciate you as always. I thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to this Friday, 1 o'clock, and the opportunity for the girls and boys basketball teams at Liverpool to vie for state titles. So thank you for your hard work and everything that you've done in this community. And like I told you when you came back, thank you so much for coming back here. Thank you for believing in Central and Upstate New York and sticking it out and being here with us. We are better because you're here as a coach. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Coming from Ryan Blackwell here on the interesting, a little bit interesting. We never know what the future holds. Hey, you know, they got to focus on winning a state title. This team has got to be locked in and ready to go. And in the back of my mind, I've already told you guys before, Ryan Blackwell is a name to put in that pot for that open seat. I'm just saying because I'm saying. So, you know, I'm just saying. And who told you that Adrian Autry should get the job? I think that happened on Wake Up Call. So, you know, just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there because it should be out there. And like I said to Ryan, if for nothing else, he should know that people appreciate the work that he's done. And I know that he knows that, but you know, there's nothing wrong with telling a friend, hey, I see you. And, you know, they're doing an incredible job. They have an opportunity at a state title, and I hope they get there. And, It's been a wonderful run, and you would imagine being in the world of vying for multiple state titles, gaining one, potentially gaining another one. I mean, in my opinion, and strictly my opinion, this is not coming from Ryan, this is coming from me. If he gets 2 state titles in 5 years and gets offered the opportunity to be at Syracuse as an assistant coach, I would imagine that we're going to see that. So, you heard it on Wake Up Call. Black and I talked about it. And, he said they got a focus. He knows there's a seat open. You never know what the future holds. So we'll see. But I don't want to take the focus off of Liverpool. I know he doesn't want to take the focus off of Liverpool. And so the Warriors going for the state title is the focus. In the background, maybe we'll see Ryan Blackwell in the Dome in a different way for the future. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll come back with the ingredients to success right after this, proudly presented by Avicolli's, where sports meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as beyond 11 o'clock, as we typically underpromise and overdeliver. We appreciate you being here.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond. You can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5, Camillus, where you will find handcrafted all-natural soy wax candles over 60 cents to freshen up your home. We carry a wide range of locally made items, Salsa Q's, Syracuse Salt, and Chocolate Pizza Company, to name a few. Let our knowledgeable staff help choose unique gifts and keepsakes for any occasion. Gifts for family and friends, and maybe a little something for yourself. Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5, Camillus.
This is a special message from Merritt Brady, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Watertown on 1290 Arsenal Street in Watertown, New York.
Chick-fil-A for me has always been about the people. I think it starts with the strength and leadership of the Cathy family. It's just amazing to see a family-run business reach the altitude that they have. Second mile service is something that we embodied at my previous business, and the ability to make people feel like they're the only person at your establishment, that you are there to serve them that day and looking for those extra ways to make them happy, to anticipate what they need next, is what makes me tick, and I'm going to have so many opportunities at Chick-fil-A to do that. It's one of my favorite things to eat in the world. My favorite application question or interview question when I'm interviewing is when I get to, have you ever eaten at Chick-fil-A? And a smile hits both their ears. They can't even answer the question for a second. And when I see that, it's like, man, that's going to be a great hire. They already get it. They already feel it. They already know that we're different. The Chick-fil-A experience, it's a real thing. And then, of course, just our generosity and community involvement and making a positive impact in the lives of our team members, our guests, and the community in general, I think is really the secret sauce.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here. By the way, this is why I love doing a live show, is I have the opportunity to share live information with you. And that is, and I've already put it up on our social media. You can find it on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. J.J. Starling, who you know from the Baldwinsville Bees boys basketball team, he committed to Notre Dame, went to Notre Dame, and is now heading back home to Central and Upstate New York as J.J. Starling entered and exited the transfer portal very quickly. Maybe that was the 12.5 seconds that I was talking to Mike Wheeler about. And he will now be in orange. So J.J. Starling, Syracuse, now together again. Central and Upstate New York, that connection, recruiting New York, supporting New York, something that I am so big on is taking care of New York State and making sure that these student athletes, students in general, are appreciated, respected, and have the best and brightest opportunities ahead of them. J.J. Starling heading back to Syracuse. A Central and Upstate New York recruit who took a short detour to Notre Dame is coming home to the Syracuse Orange. Like I said, going into that transfer portal and out of that transfer portal rapidly, as the Baldwinsville Bee alum is now going to be in orange and blue, which is what people wanted from the beginning. And you had to wait a little while. And what do they say? Good things are worth the wait. They're worth waiting for. Well, now that wait is over. J.J. Starling, this is one of the beauties of the transfer portal. People talk about their gripes with the transfer portal and their problems with the transfer portal and all the issues with the transfer portal. Well, when moments like this happen, that's when you like the transfer portal. Because normally, when you missed out on a player, you missed out on a player, and that was the end of the story. But Syracuse missed out on J.J. Starling, who went to Notre Dame. Mike Bray decides that he's going to make this his final season. And J.J. Starling jumps into the transfer portal shortly after the ACC tournament and is now going to be on the Syracuse Orange. So, wanted to share that little nugget with you here this morning, as I know that fans are very excited and very happy and very much looking forward to this. I know that personally I'm ecstatic because I love keeping New York in New York. So, I'm really, really looking forward to this and what JJ is going to do for Syracuse. Big ups to him and much appreciation to him. This is this could be a really special season for Syracuse, as I have mentioned before. If you get most of these players to come back, everybody can come back. Cy can come back, and Joe can come back, and Jesse can come back, because they all have that extra season of eligibility thanks to, one of the positives that came out of COVID. So we have that, here, and people need to know that, and people need to understand that this team, all these freshmen can come back, and all of the seniors can come back as well. And so you can get this team back with its nucleus, and you don't have to bring in a ton. You just bring in some pieces. And I was wondering if Red was going to jump into this transfer portal. I made mention of the transfer portal and the importance of it for this team moving forward, and they have taken full advantage of it immediately, as J.J. Starling from the Baldwinsville Bees will be returning home to Central and Upstate New York, and we will get to see him in orange and blue. So I know Bees fans are going to be out there. I know they're going to be excited. I know the Baldwinsville community is excited. I know Central and Upstate New York's excited. And I know that Syracuse fans as a whole are excited. So that is a beautiful thing. And speaking of positivity and excitement and all that good stuff, we have the opportunity to bring you the ingredients to success to round out every Tuesday broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And so I have the opportunity today to bring you those ingredients to success, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Avicolli's, led by John and the entire crew. Big shout out to Nick and everybody. So much love, much respect, and much appreciation to Avicolli's. Open Tuesday through Sunday for your dining pleasure. You can head in there for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We always ask you to drink responsibly and to go to 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, Tuesday through Sunday, as they are closed on Mondays. And of course, you can also call them for takeout, catering, and delivery at 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. So make sure you get a hold of them today. And thank you for everybody that has gone out there. When I came home to Syracuse from my week in Greensboro, the first place I ate at was Avicolli's. I went there with my dad, and I got some awesome food. I got tortellini alla vodka with shrimp on it, and first of all, everything was great, and I had leftovers, and those were great. And the sauce had a sweetness to it. You know, a vodka sauce with a little sweetness, you know, there's something about it. It was just so good, and it was good the next day. And I want to thank Avicolli's for, you know, treating a card-carrying Italian the right way. And for those of you that are not Italian, listen, whether you're Italian or not, I think we can all agree on something. 99.9% of the world likes Italian food. And Avicolli's is going to give you great portions, great food, and you're going to be supporting the community for one of our neighbors that's been here for so many years. So make sure you go to Avicolli's, where you're eating good and supporting local. We appreciate you so very much, and we thank you at Avicolli. So with that being said, the ingredients to success. Well, the ingredients to success, folks, today's topic is going to be your dreams. That's today's topic. Now, I don't know your dreams, right? I'm not in your dream. Maybe I am in your dream. I don't know. If I'm in your dreams, we should talk about that. What was I doing in there? But you know, we all have our own dreams, right? We have our own aspirations. But today's topic is about your dreams. And what we're here to talk about is the reality that you have to protect those dreams. Your ingredients to success for your dreams, well, to let yourself dream, to never think anything is impossible, and to be practical, but also believe in what some would consider the impossible. Now, I have a sign in the studio. My mom gave this to me when I moved into my first apartment, which was in Dunmore, Pennsylvania, down the road from my college that I went to, Marywood University. And this sign says, "Hope makes the impossible possible." Hope makes the impossible possible. Now, I have this sign in my studio because this sign has taken me through a bunch of tough moments in my life. So I have the sign here because of what it's meant to me over the years. You know, this sign is really, it's a testament to hard work, dedication, and determination. So looking at this sign, "Hope makes the impossible possible," I want you to know this. As we talk about the ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, right down the road from Liverpool High School, corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road. Hope makes the impossible possible. This sign kept me believing in the impossible. It is one of the things that I have looked at for many years of my life. I had this in my first home, you know, my first apartment in Dunmore. I had it when I came home, and I had it in my room when I took care of my grandmother and stayed with her for 2 years and helped to take care of her and be a caregiver for the woman that took care of me my whole life and continues to from heaven. This sign was a sign that I held on to with my faith in God. I cried looking at this sign. I yelled looking at this sign. I smiled looking at this sign. But I always believed in this sign because I believe in God. Hope makes the impossible possible. There's nothing, and it's right here in the studio, there's nothing that this world is going to throw at you that you can't defeat without hope, without faith, without love. I want you to know that. If you hope in your dreams and you have faith in your dreams and you love yourself and you love what you're going after, you're going to catch the things that are meant for you. You're going to have those things that are supposed to be in your life. And to the things that aren't supposed to be in your life, understand that sometimes the best thing that God can do is not answer a prayer the way we want it to, because God knows more than we do. And we have to be cognizant of the fact that there are 3 answers to prayers from God. Yes, not right now, and no, because I have something better for you. The not right now is a hard one to take, and the no, because I have something better for you, it's hard to believe there's something better come along the way, and it's hard to be patient. We want to hear yes all the time. As human beings, we are programmed to want to hear yes and never hear no. But without patience and without belief that maybe some things aren't meant for us, you're not going to have a peaceful life, and you're not going to have a fruitful life, and you're not going to have a happy life if you struggle with being patient and you struggle with hearing no. Because if I didn't hear no as many times as I heard it, I wouldn't have started my company. I wouldn't be here with you this morning the way that I am this morning. And my company wouldn't be where it is. I wouldn't feel as accomplished in my road to my dreams as I do if God didn't sometimes tell me no. So I appreciate the no's because I have something better for you. And I appreciate the not right now because patience is a virtue. And it was something I had to learn over the years. So you can achieve your dreams. If something is meant for you, nothing's going to stop that except for you. There's nothing on this planet that's going to stop you except you. You have to allow people's words and actions to stop you. But the people that have become most successful in life, the people that you regard as the champions of life, the ones that invented and created things that you think to yourself, without it today, where would we be? Somebody told them it was impossible. Somebody told them it was nuts. Somebody told them they were stupid. Some people said, you're never going to create a light bulb. Light comes from the sun. You're never going to be able to manufacture light, create your own light. And Thomas Edison said, I disagree. So when you have a dream and you have an aspiration and you have a desire and a goal to accomplish, go do it. Because the ingredients to success on building a good life toward your dreams, the way to get there is to first dream. Dream big. Dream often. Then wake up in the morning and make your dreams. I am a person that says, my life, my reality, when I wake up in the morning, my life should be better than my wildest dreams. Better than my best dream that I've ever had. If it's not, I'm not living right. So, have your dreams. Get up and do something about them. Know there's going to be hard days. Know there's going to be blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing of merit, nothing that holds any weight in your life comes without blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes without strife. Nothing comes without adversity. Nothing comes without pain. I tell people all the time, when your body's growing, it's in pain. I remember one time I'll never forget this. I was laying in bed as a kid, and my body was hurting, and I was woken up by my legs hurting. It was because I was growing. I was growing, and it hurt. And why do you think people call it growing pains? Because your body actually hurts when it's growing. So if you can understand and appreciate that as your body physically grows, it goes through pain. That growing pains are a real thing. As your body is evolving, It's going through a painful process. So as you evolve in life, you will also go through a painful process. Stop thinking that your life is any different than your body. You are going to go through growing pains. It tells you that you're on your way. It tells you that you're expanding. It tells you that you are truly evolving. So if you don't have adversity, you don't have pain, you don't have strife, you're probably not trying that hard. Because everything in life of any merit comes with growing pains. So you want to get to your dreams? Be comfortable in the pain. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Be ready to the best of your ability to handle what comes your way. And be okay with saying, I don't have the answer, but I'm going to go figure it out. Be willing to ask for help. Be willing to put yourself out there, and be willing to continue going when you ask for help and you put your hand out and people slap your hand back. Don't be too proud to ask for help. And don't be discouraged when some people don't give it. Love yourself. Love your dreams. Know that you're the only one that has to believe in them. And when you do, you're not the only one. Because if you believe in you, there's always going to be God that believes in you. There is never a time where you walk alone. Because God, whether you believe in God or not, whether your relationship with God has always been there, never been there, or it comes in and out, I know that God exists. I know that God has your back. I know He has my back. And I know that when I go alone, I'm never going alone because there's always someone guiding me and guarding me. God is never distant, not there, or doesn't care. God is always there. God always cares. So when you are chasing your dreams today and the ingredients to success, how do you get there? By loving yourself, by dreaming big, by believing in yourself, by not being afraid of the pain or focused on the pain, but focused on why you're going through the pain, why you are pushing forward. And that everything that you go through, ask yourself, is this adversity that I had to go through? Did I have to be here? Did I put myself here and I didn't need to be here? Because nobody needs to go through unnecessary pain. But be ready for the strife. Be ready for the tough times. Be ready to hear no. Be ready to hear not right now. Be ready to hear you can't, you won't. It's never been done. It'll never be done. You are never going to be successful doing this. You come from a small town. You come from this money. You look like this. You sound like this. Whatever it may be, people will do everything in their power to keep you from your dreams. That is the devil. Understand that. Understand that every heckler, every voice comes from one place, the devil. And every good and positive voice, family members, strangers, friends, people that you work with, significant other, that comes from God. Every good and positive, keep going, keep after it, you can do this. All of those messages are God, and all the other messages are the devil. And when you see it as simply good and evil, one side versus the other, you stop thinking about personal attacks, and you stop thinking about this person said this and this person did that, and you start realizing this is coming from a bad place, this is coming from a good place. God will constructively criticize me. The devil will destructively criticize me. If I listen to this side, I'll get better. If I listen to this side, I'll QUIT. And when it becomes that simple, it becomes that focused. And when it becomes that focused, you know you can do it. And when you know you can do it, you're going to do it no matter what. And when you do it no matter what, you're going to achieve it. And I can't wait to see you do it. So with that being said, keep your dreams, keep your faith, keep your love, keep your desire, keep your hope, because hope makes the impossible possible. Know that God has your back, have your own back, and understand that this is your journey and your journey alone. And whether you have a great support system or you don't, you always have God, you always have you, and those are the two things that you need. That's your ingredients to success. You want to achieve your dreams? Yes, things will happen along the way. Blessings will come to you. God and you are the only two things you need. That's how I built my company, and we are over 10 years old. It was God and I in the trenches building this thing out of thin air, from the air in front of me saying, God, we're going to make this into something tangible and real. It doesn't happen without God. It doesn't happen without you. And yeah, okay, Everything else, they come and go. Supporters are going to come and go. Some friends are going to come and go. Money's going to come and go. But your consistency, God and you. 2 ingredients to success in getting to your dreams. Never stop loving yourself, and never stop realizing that there is something bigger than you that created you. I know we live in an egocentric society that believes that we've done everything on our own and we don't need anybody's help. Without God, society falls. We've seen it. So keep God at the center. Love God with everything you have. And stop making you the end-all be-all. It's you and God. It's God and you. Those are the ingredients that you need. Faith, hope, love, passion, desire, want to. And you're going to realize really quickly the difference between 2 things. I love it, or I think I love it. Because if you love it, you're never going to stop. If you think you love it, you will QUIT. There's a difference. And I can't even say the word because the word still to this day makes me sick to my stomach, and it always will. I will never QUIT on some, I don't even like to spell it. I will never QUIT on the things that matter to me. So, be steadfast, be strong, and on your worst day, have your biggest smile. I love you all, and I appreciate you. Those are your ingredients to success. Now let's go get these dreams. God bless. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, I am so grateful and so thankful for you joining the show every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You're here with us on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /Wake Up Call DT. You're with us on Facebook.com /Live Now DT, which I appreciate. And you're also with us for the first time ever, as we started this last week, that we are now live on the Podbean outlet that we've been on for so many years. So we are live on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So we thank you for connecting with us on there as well. Once the shows go live, you can jump into the archives and find us in any one of these outlets, as well as some that we have added recently within the last couple weeks. So you can find Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. You could also find me by going to your Alexa or Google Home device and say, play the latest episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and they'll do that for you as well. A big shout out and a big thanks to our incredible partners in Central and Upstate New York. Many thanks to Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Witty Wicks, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Avicolli's, PB&J's Lunchbox, Mod Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, which you can get anywhere in the world by going to maandpaspopcorn.com. Big thanks to Chick-fil-A Watertown, Great Lakes Honda City, Mother's Cupboard, Chick-fil-A Cicero, and Chick-fil-A Clay, 317 at Montgomery Street in downtown Syracuse. The name of the restaurant is the name of the location, 317 Montgomery Street in downtown Syracuse. Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, and we are proud to be the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Dolphin Time, which you have the opportunity every single week to hang out with your Dolphins at Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, where we feature the AD and DT segments every first and third Wednesday of each month with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, a.k.a. DT, and every second and fourth Wednesday, the Dolphin Dive, diving into stories of student athletes as well as coaches, administration, and future Dolphins and alumni, all here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You can check out all of those by going to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com. You can also find them by subscribing to our YouTube channel on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. And of course, you can get more information on your Dolphins by going to LeMoyneDolphins.com. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is also the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. The Bobcats men's basketball team is vying for their first ever postseason victory this morning as they are playing their game. Started at 10 o'clock this morning. A big shout out to Clay Gagan Sherman and the entire staff and team with the Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse Bobcats. We are so proud of them and so happy for them. And as they vie for their first ever postseason victory, I look forward to them having that here and being able to talk about it. But no matter what happens, I am so very proud of this incredible team and the incredible run that they have had under Clay Gagan Sherman in his first season as head coach and under the tutelage of Danny Frasina, who started the program at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. So much love to you both and to all that you have done. And very, very happy to connect with them and be able to tell their stories, as well as men's soccer, women's soccer, national champions, and of course Tay Baker and the women's basketball team, the baseball team, and Sean Peak as they are playing in their inaugural season, making history literally every single second of this year because you will only have one inaugural season. Check out all of our Bobcat content by going to the BSC Syracuse tab on wakeupcalldt.com, subscribing and saving it, bookmarking it. And of course, you can subscribe to us on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. For more information on your Bobcats, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. With that being said, I want to thank you for being a part of the show today. It's been an incredible broadcast filled with incredible people and some news maybe for the future for Ryan Blackwell. We shall see. Frank Colabufo, his team, the West Genesee Wildcats boys ice hockey team, has hoisted the 2023 state title, New York State champions for West Genesee. A big shout out to Frank Colabufo, his staff, and his team. Big shout out to Amari Palmer, a.k.a. Odyssey Jones of WWE NXT, back in the ring as of the end of last year and into the beginning of this year, doing a fantastic job, and his vision and his mission and his dreams that we talked about and the ingredients to success, his dreams of getting to WrestleMania XL. I hope he does it, and I look forward to it, and I can't wait for that moment to be realized from Amari Palmer, a.k.a. Odyssey Jones. God bless to you, brother. To Mike Wheeler and Ryan Blackwell, both from the same school, both vying for state titles, both heading to the Final Four in New York State for girls basketball with Mike Wheeler and his team, and boys basketball for Ryan Blackwell and his team. A big shout out to both coaches. It would be great at Liverpool High School to see one Warriors team vying for a state title. They have two doing it simultaneously this week, this Friday, and I am so proud of Mike Wheeler, Ryan Blackwell, their staffs, and of course to their wonderful and incredible student athletes. And we got to continue to recruit and support local here in Central and Upstate New York, and recruiting and supporting local and being here for local ingredients to success. Talk about recruiting local. Avicolli's bringing in, Liverpool High School students and people from this community that continue to build up this wonderful, wonderful company, and supporting local by going into Avicolli. So you walk into Avicolli's, their workers are from the community. You support Avicolli's, you're giving right back to the community. Right down the road from Liverpool High School, you can walk to Liverpool High School from Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. So a big shout out and a big thanks to them. And like I said, my first stop when I came home to Central New York was to head over and have dinner with my dad at Avicolli. So thank you for your hospitality and your goodness. With that being said, find us on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. And as always, God bless, no stress.